Hello, and welcome to Chabot News for September 30th, 2015. I'm Justin Bauer. In today's news, we'll have the latest in Hayward's new library, Richard will bring us the news on Viola Davis, and Anthony will talk about the Oakland Raiders and their first win of the season. All that and more on Chabot News. 3 people are on the run after being sighted climbing Paris's Eiffel Tower early Sunday. Security agents called police after seeing the group at 5:30 a.m., but the climbers escaped before officers arrived. A police department spokesman told CNN a police helicopter equipped with a thermal imaging camera was also dispatched. An emergency response unit inspected the tower, which opened to the public late the afternoon, the spokesman said. The Eiffel Tower was evacuated twice in 2010 due to bomb threats and once in 2013 over security concerns. The tower is a French icon, with almost 7 million people visiting it annually. Built by Gustave Eiffel, it was completed in 1889 as part of a universal expansion celebrating the century of the French Revolution. At 1,024 feet, the metal tower was the tallest structure in the world until New York's Chrysler Building overtook it in 1930. It was originally designed as a temporary attraction, but the decision was made to keep it as a permanent attraction, and the tower has never looked back. Thieves who broke into a shop in Melheim, Germany, opened 1,200 bottles of König Pilsner beer, but left the untouched containers stacked neatly in their crates and the amber brew inside to spoil. Investigators were surprised to find that all open bottles were of the same brand. They now believe that the thieves were trying to win prizes offered through a brewery promotion. The bottle caps had tokens printed on them, with some entitling the holder to tools and speakers. Many of the caps weren't winners, and the thieves left bits of metal skewed across the shop's floor. Mark Barron, a König Brewery spokesman, said that he found it quite incredible that someone would go to such lengths to steal bottle caps. We have no way to track where the bottle caps were sold or, in this case, stolen, but we were now on the watch for someone who sends in an unusually high number of bottle caps. Let's head over to Richard for today's entertainment news update.
Thanks, Justin. At the 67th Emmy Awards on Sunday, September 21st, Viola Davis became the first black woman to win Outstanding Actress in a Drama Series for her performance in How to Get Away with Murder. This was also the first time 2 black women were ever nominated for the same award in the same year, with Empire's Taraji P. Henson. After receiving her first Emmy, she gave an emotional speech by quoting Harriet Tubman and saying, "The only thing that chances women of color is opportunity. You cannot win an Emmy for roles that are simply not there." Only time will tell if this speech helps bring more diversity in the entertainment industry. Sean Penn is suing Empire creator Lee Daniels for $10 million for accusing the Oscar-winning actor of being a wife-beater. The beef between the two started earlier this month when filmmaker Daniels told The Hollywood Reporter that Empire star Terrence Howard, who has a record of violence against women, ain't done nothing different than Marlon Brando or Sean Penn, and all of a sudden he's some effing demon. That's a sign of the time, of race, or where we are in America right now. He was commenting on the negative press surrounding Howard, who's been arrested 5 times for violent acts against women, according to Penn's suit. Penn called the statement appalling on several levels in his defamation suit. First, in this purported offense of Howard, Daniels not only appears to acknowledge Howard's guilt, he also seems to condone Howard's misconduct, Penn says in the suit. Penn claims the remarks were made to strengthen Daniels' show Empire. He admits in the filing that while he has had several brushes with the law, the Milk and Mystic River star was never arrested or convicted of domestic violence. His ex-wives, including Madonna, would confirm and attest, the suit says. Penn was also married to actress Robin Wright, and this year ended a relationship with actress Charlize Theron. That's it for today's entertainment news update. Back to you, Justin.
Pedal confusion resulted in an 80-year-old woman crashing her SUV into a gym in Livermore Tuesday morning, killing a 49-year-old Lawrence Livermore Labs executive and injuring 6 others in an exercise class. The woman killed, identified as Kathy Baker, was taking part in a TRX elastic strapped resistance training class with her husband. Baker worked at Lawrence Livermore since 2001 and became chief financial officer in 2012. A spokesman confirmed Lawrence Livermore will eventually hold an employee remembrance for Kathy, but for the time being they want to respect the family's privacy. The spokesperson said in an email statement, police responded to 911 calls about the accident at 9:26 a.m. 6 victims from the crash were transported to a hospital. 5 of them suffered moderate but non-life-threatening injuries and were soon released. The elderly driver, a Livermore resident, steps on the gas instead of the brake pedal while parking her Mercedes SUV in front of the Lifestyle RX gym, in which Livermore police spokesman Officer Tracy Robejo said as a severe case of pedal confusion. The driver, who was planning to exercise at the gym herself, was not hurt in the accident. Officers described her as shaken up from the accident and are not planning to recommend charges. The district attorney will review the case and ultimately decide if charges will be filed. There were no signs of drug or alcohol involved, police said. The driver's name was not been released. Now, Sportscast for today. Take it away, Anthony.
32-year-old UFC middleweight contender Nick Diaz has received a 5-year suspension, as well as $150,000 fine for testing positive for marijuana. Diaz has tested positive twice before, once in 2007 and the other in 2012. On the night of his fight against fellow middleweight legend Anderson Silva, Diaz was tested 3 times, one before the fight, with the other 2 coming within a few hours following the fight. The second of these tests came back positive, resulting in the suspension. Diaz has stated that he will indeed appeal the suspension and hopes to be back competing soon. Both NFL teams in the Bay Area are already experiencing ups and downs, even though the season only started 2 weeks ago. Following a Week 1 loss against the Cincinnati Bengals at home, the Oakland Raiders bounced back by beating the Baltimore Ravens. Quarterback Derek Carr threw a last-minute touchdown to Seth Roberts to seal the team's very first victory. The final score of this game was 37-33. On the other hand, the San Francisco 49ers lost by a huge margin against the zoned-in Pittsburgh Steelers at Heinz Field last Sunday. After beating the Minnesota Vikings in Week 1, the 49ers had no answer against the high-powered offense of the Steelers. The 49ers lose 43-18 and hope to come back next week against a division rival, the Arizona Cardinals. That's all we have for today's Sportscast. Back to you, Justin.
After a last-minute appeal to keep the building, Hayward's main library will be razed and the site will become a Century Plaza after the city's new library finishes construction and opens to the public. On Tuesday, the City Council accepted a $52.6 million contract for a new library and plaza, reaffirming its earlier vote to allow the demolition of the old building located on C Street in downtown Hayward. The plaza will include several existing trees that date over a century old. The history block dates back to 1800s. The plaza was once a corral for Don Guillermo Castro's ranch in San Lorenzo. The site later became a city park in the Hayward's first city hall located across Mission Boulevard. Hayward does not have a good track record for keeping and maintaining beautiful buildings, said Bruce Roberts. The current library, which was built in 1951 and expanded several times, needs major upgrades that could cost $4 to $8 million, according to the city, and also does not comply with Americans with Disabilities Act guidelines. Councilman Francisco Zermeno, who earlier had advocated the old library to be saved, said that was not feasible now. I'm not willing to delay our new jewel downtown, Zimmerman said. But the effort to save the old building brought the often fractured local arts community together, he noted. Library director Sean Reinhardt also said he liked the idea of a cultural arts center. I can think of a dozen possible places downtown, probably 100 citywide, but there's only one historic plaza that goes back to the founding days of Hayward with century-old trees, said Reinhardt. That's it for Chabot News this week. Thanks to all the students and staff and Mass Communications Department here at Chabot College for making this production possible. You can watch us anytime online at ChabotTV.net. Stay tuned to KCTH 27 on Comcast for more Chabot TV.